Hey now, so I am back. I did a quick analysis video on Friday just regarding my quick initial thoughts for the Veterans Committee that was announced. So, thought about it, and I want to take a look at the golden era. Let's look at the autograph analysis for all 10 players that were listed on the ballot. But before I start that, I want to go over the two autographs that I don't have. Again, we're going to talk about all the autographs, not necessarily their candidacy. But the two I don't have, number one is Billy Pierce. And Billy Pierce passed away in around 2014. He was a member of my beloved Tigers, including the 1945 World Champions. And I never got his autograph. I was at shows that he was at. And to be honest, the reason why I never got his autograph is because I never thought he was a Hall of Famer. His candidacy was strong. I would put him in the Hall of Very Good, perhaps, and never the Hall of Fame. Not a rare autograph. You probably can acquire him for under $20. Like I said, he was a very accommodating signer. Did a lot of shows, not tough at all. The other one I don't have, believe it or not, is Roger Maris. And again, this is another one I've had many opportunities to get his autograph. I never got it because, again, I never thought he was a Hall of Famer either. He had, let's say, 4 great seasons, but that's really is about it. If he were to ever get in, he probably wouldn't be a very weak candidate. He would have the 4th lowest batting average of all time of anyone in the Hall of Fame. I think the lowest is Killebrew, but again, Killebrew had that magic 500 number. And I think Maris only had 260 home runs total, including obviously the magical 61 season. But he's very commonly forged for very obvious reasons. If you see Mantle and Maris piece, obviously be careful. Obvious reasons, very common forged. If I were to be buying a Maris piece, you bet it would have a TPA. Personally, it would be, for me, it would be a signed contract or like a signed GPC or something like that. But okay, that's for it for the two I don't have. Let's just talk about the 8 that I do have. Again, I'll go into later about their candidacy or not. I don't want to go too much into that. I'd rather look at their autographs right now. So I'm going to start off with probably the hardest autograph to get of the entire 10 members, and that is Gil Hodges. Again, not terribly difficult. Not sure when he passed away. I know it was, I want to say in the 70s or so. But again, he's out there. He was a famous member of the Brooklyn Dodgers, obviously. When you're buying his autograph, it's, again, the Hodges you want to look for. You can see right here, he always spelled out his name. It was common for him to put, like, when they did this Gil, to sort of like an 8. I'm sure you could see that right there. He didn't do this on every autograph. I'm not saying every time you see an autograph of his, you're going to see that, but it's a nice trait if you do see it. Same thing when he dotted the I. He put a circle as opposed to an actual dot. Again, the Hodges, you want to look for, again, the downstroke H, and then with the H, the Hodges is usually spelled out. His autograph varied a little, so not everyone is going to be uniform like you're seeing right here. So if you're going to get his autograph, just put a little bit of caution in it. He's not highly forged. He's a strong candidate. I won't get too much into that. But yeah, he's a very strong candidate. He's been so for probably the last 20 years. So if you're going to get there, just be careful with it. Get a TPA or something like that. Again, none of these players on the list are terribly difficult. So let's move on to the next one. Another fairly tough one. That's Ken Boyer. The Ken Boyer autograph I have right here, you can see it was signed September 28, 1956. The Ken Boyer, every time I see his autograph, the K and the B in his name are large. Then the N and the Oyer, if you want to say it for lack of a better term, is really small. This right here is a signed Gillette contract. A while back, a bunch of these contracts came out for sale from Gillette. I guess a lot of players for endorsements. Again, I always like to get signed contracts or dated materials if possible. So that's what you're seeing right here. So again, Ken Boyer died in 1982. Again, always very active, always around baseball. Not a terribly rare autograph per se, but just, again, be careful, know what you're looking for. Look for the big K, look for the big B. Another one of the fairly toughies right here, the only manager on the list, Danny Murtaugh. Again, this is a government postcard. Let's see, is dated Pittsburgh 1959, it looks like, or 53. I can't really tell. Whatever. Government postcard, like the government postcards. Thanks again, Bill. So, again, looking at Danny Murtaugh, you want to look for the D. You see how it jets out like that. That's what you want to look for. his autographs all have that common thing. Not terribly rare. $100 to $200 I would expect to be paying on this. I think I paid even less than that for this government postcard. I got this a while ago, knowing that he was a fairly strong candidate for the Hall of Fame. So the rest of the players on the list, I have all met in person. I know a couple of them are deceased. First one right here is Maury Wills. I think he's 88 years old now, still an active signer. Looks like the M is starting to bleed a little. I'm just noticing that. Again, got this in person. Common signer. I think he still signs pretty regularly in the Los Angeles area where he lives. Moving on, I got a 1997 National. I got this guy. I know I did an analysis already on him. Minnie Minoso. This is unfortunately a Len Coleman ball. Oh, there's Buck O'Neil. We'll get to another day, probably next. And the O'Neil balls are some of those that unfortunately will spot at times. It's kind of tough to find. We talked about this because of the water they used. But there it is. I won't get into it again. Not a tough autograph. He even has some signed cards. That's probably the ones I would go after if I were getting his autograph today. There are a couple really neat, like Orestes Minoso, his real first name. If you could find those, you're going to spend a couple $100. Again, talking about Bill, I know he stole one of those at the National this year. And I was really jealous of that pickup. Almost done. Next couple right here. Again, I got these at the same time. We have Tony Oliva and Dick Allen. So the Dick Allen, I always wonder if he was signing a Rich Allen or Dick Allen. You can see right here, this is common post-signature for both of them. They both have nice autographs. Again, the Tony swoops down in the T. The Oliva swoops around the A, looks like an O almost. Again, Rich Dick Allen, you want to look for that big R, that little underline is common, but again, not necessary. So I got these all in person. He was at this one show, and also at that show is right here. I know, McGuire's there also. I won't get into that. Jim Kaat. Jim, nice, straightforward signature. You can see it right there. I've gotten Jim a couple of times. Again, they all look the same. He's not a highly forged name. He's still around. As a matter of fact, I think him and Oliva were doing a show this weekend or next weekend coming up, I think in St. Louis. But yeah, like I said, Oliva, Kaat, and I think even Wills to some extent are still fairly active on the autograph circuit. So that's about it. If I had to make a quick guess who's going to get in the Hall of Fame, who they're going to elect, I would say Minoso, Kaat, and Oliva. That's about it. As always, keep collecting. Real quick, I just said that Minoso, Kaat, and Oliva will get in. I'm going to amend that to Minoso, Kaat, Oliva, and Dick Allen. Yes, I know I don't think 4 players have ever gotten in through the Veterans Committee at once, but there's a first for everything.